I'm very pleased to be here on My Magical Thing with Sue Fox, who is an author, a poet, artist, and academic with a focus on taboo, transgression, and sexualities. Sue, it's lovely to have you here.
And it's absolutely brilliant to be here. I've been up since 4:30, psyching up. I'm well ready to go.
Well, my dear friend, Sue, please may we see your magical thing?
Yeah. Well, my magical thing, I'm actually wearing it. I'm naked underneath, and it is my coat coat. I'll have to move away so you can see it. It's just
Yeah, I can.
emblazoned in cot pictures. I did a call out when I was working on this book and a series from 2008 to 2011, which was almost like 600,000 words, the equivalent of six PhDs. And what I did, I decided I was writing lots about really dysfunctional men, anarchic kind of men, really, apocalyptic men, your kind of archetypal person. And I basically did a call out and I was inundated with cop pictures, And I mean, women hate them, but I really like them. I was like, send them, send them. And they also came with like people's confessions. People wanted to talk about their cocks and sexuality. It was a really beautiful kind of opening thing. So I basically emblazoned, my coats. I've got three of them actually, I'll show you in a bit. So I emblazoned it with all the cocks and I wore it to some of the readings that I've done for Cox and the Apocalypse, which was out last year, in conjunction with the Scatological Sons, which is really about kind of not all exes, but people that I've known and communicated with on a depth. But there is quite a bit of sex and smut in there. But it's also in homage to Rimbard, who wrote the Scatological Sonnets. So a lot of it is all about shit and phlegm and, all the innards really. Tales about when somebody puked up when I was like sucking a cock and stuff like that. It's a good read. I'd advise everyone to sort of go out and get it. And they are available through my publisher's website, Incunabula Media, and also on lulu.com, which we use, as a publishing site. But yeah, in the book, I mean, I look at people like, a porn star, a mercenary, a games maker, publisher, scholars, artists, poets, different people who just came into my life almost like a kind of, I don't know, it's almost like tarot in a way, just these kind of types, roles that came into my life and I naturally just write about them. I mean, life is art, isn't it, really? And then I have also got another coat, which is called The Coat of Many Vulvas after Joseph's coat of many colours. And I'll just bring it a little bit towards us. So again, I got my mates and other people again, worldwide scholars, some professors whose cunts look very interesting and actually a little bit messy, but I got a really beautiful range, So, thinking about like femininity and the woman's gaze, the woman looking at her own vagina, and then with the guys with the cocks, people looking at their own cocks, but I get to curate and author and do what I want and reclaim, the gaze for me. I become sort of embodied, really. So that's that coat. And I've also got one, you can hear me rattling away, a money coat. So I started on it last year and I got a student to help me with it, and it's still got to be finished. So again, I wanted to walk around Manchester naked underneath, wearing my money coat, big high pair of shoes, glammed up, and call in the abundance and the money and who I am, calling my worth. And I went round loads of antique shops collecting really old money from all over the world and just popped it all over the coat. And they're just such fun things to wear, good to perform in. A lot of people always want to like take the coat off me, and I'm like, well, you can buy it if you want. I'll make more. So the idea is to just do more fun art. I mean, I want to do like cock and cunt wallpaper, although not necessarily together. Actually, that might be a good idea together. I want to do a cock pop-up book. I'm also currently working on designing banners of cocks and cunts to go in a church, but I don't know whether anybody would let me do that. Um, what else? Yeah. I mean, if anybody wants to sort of have a look at the work, if you put in Cox and the Apocalypse, Sue Fox, you'll find, details about, well, you'll find me in action. And you can get, the work, the books from Incunabula. This was the book that was related to the Coat of Many Vulvas, the Visceral Tear, the Art of Cuntography. So it's a big fat read, 6 times 9 inches, very appropriate. And it's kind of like a gift of my body. Again, everything's embodiment, my eye, and the lifeline on the back of my palm. So instead of a sort of, they used to do covers of human skin, didn't they? So this is my skin, but it's photographic, like a pillow book that travels around the world. And I get loads of people. I get a lot of gay men who contact me and just say they want to, they want to talk to me about the con. And I'm just a bit sometimes confused, going, how does that work? But obviously, it's an opening. They've come out of it. They don't want to go back into it, but it's a really interesting subject area, really. So, yeah.
Sue, that's fantastic. I really, really like that whole thing about the power of the representation of the sexual and changing the way that that representation happens. We live in this culture where things like erotic imagery, pornography, bodies are simultaneously really present and also really occluded and hidden. And
Absolutely.
so
Yeah.
finding other ways to kind of, represent those things, particularly, perhaps from, I guess, from a sort of, female kind of perspective or being, being empowered to do that is delightful. That truly is a magical, transformative thing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I know that, like you go to India and you're going to see all those things emblazoned around, but, it's almost like patriarchy is like trying to crush all that and just, it ends up becoming a fear or a fixation. And really, it's who we are, it's where we come from. So the idea of having it in a church really makes sense to me. Or, for example, if you go to a circus, why can't we see people enacting the Kama Sutra as an act? I mean, why has it got to be like, made into some sickly little porn that you can't, you sneak a look at? Why can't we just have it out, in the open, watching it in a beautiful way and not make it so censored?
Absolutely. Sue Fox, thank you so much for taking the time sh to show us your astonishing magical things. That's really, really
You're
appreciated, my friend.
so
Thank you.
welcome. Take
All
care.
right.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.